I had always believed in my wife completely, but over the years, I started noticing small shifts. Longer phone calls, constant texting she'd hide the moment I walked in, and that occasional dismissive laugh whenever I tried to join her conversations. I never imagined she'd intentionally do something to hurt me. But that night proved me wrong. Her friends had pushed her to make me jealous, and she took their advice with a level of commitment that left me speechless. It began at a simple dinner get-together at a friend's home. Everything felt ordinary at first, people chatting, laughing, enjoying the evening. Then suddenly, she leaned a little too close to a man I barely knew, laughing louder than the moment required, her hand brushing his arm like it was accidental. At first it seemed playful, subtle even. But the purpose behind it wasn't subtle at all. Every glance, every exaggerated laugh, every small movement was crafted to get a reaction out of me. I froze. A part of me wanted to confront her right then, but another part, cooler, more calculating, chose to stay quiet and observe, to understand just how far she was willing to go. Her friends, sitting nearby, exchanged looks and whispered among themselves, clearly pleased with the spectacle they had set in motion. It became obvious she had been prepared for this, coached by people who neither knew me nor cared about the consequences. She smiled brightly, almost glowing, but it wasn't joy I saw, it was performance. For the first time, I wasn't looking at my partner. I was watching someone putting on a show, and the realization cut deep. Inside, my emotions churned: anger, hurt, disappointment. Yet on the outside, I stayed composed. Rather than confronting her in the moment, I stayed silent and watched her for the rest of the night, noticing every calculated gesture, every intentional laugh. The more I didn't react, the bolder she became. Eventually, the next phase of her plan surfaced. She moved even closer to the man, placing her hand on his shoulder like it was the most natural thing in the world, clearly waiting for my jealousy to explode. I inhaled slowly, reminding myself that the best response wasn't shouting or causing a scene. It was clarity and control. I politely excused myself and stepped outside into the cool night air to gather my thoughts. My heart was racing, but my mind felt steady. I had a choice: let her behavior break me, or use it as a moment to reflect and figure out my path forward. The next day, I confronted her, not with rage, but with precision. "I saw everything last night," I said quietly as we sat in the living room. Her eyes widened, guilt and defensiveness crossing her face. "It was just a joke," she insisted. "My friends thought it would be funny." I shook my head. "It wasn't funny. It was hurtful. You weren't joking, you were acting. And you knew it would hurt me." Her voice softened. She couldn't even look at me. I continued, choosing my words carefully. "Marriage isn't a game. It's not about trying to trigger jealousy or manipulate one another. It's built on trust, respect, and honesty. Last night, you stepped away from all of that." For the first time, I saw the weight of her actions settle on her. She admitted that her friends had pushed her further than she ever intended to go, and that she hadn't realized how deeply it would affect me. Over the next few days, she genuinely tried to rebuild what she had damaged. She apologized sincerely, explaining she never meant to harm me, but had let herself be influenced by others. I listened closely, measuring her words. Forgiveness wouldn't come instantly, but I could see real effort in how she behaved. No excuses, no shifting blame, just accountability. What stayed with me most was how the incident forced us both to reconsider the boundaries in our relationship. It exposed vulnerabilities I hadn't acknowledged and revealed a side of her I never expected to see. The jealousy stunt her friends encouraged became an unexpected lesson. Outside influence and manipulation, even when disguised as harmless advice, can erode even strong relationships if not confronted. Eventually, we moved forward, though the dynamic between us had undeniably changed. She learned that performing for attention, even as a joke, has consequences. I learned that patience, observation, and a measured response uncover more truth than an impulsive reaction ever could. That night, planned to provoke me, ended up becoming a moment of clarity and growth. We came out of it wiser, more aware, and ultimately stronger, reminded that even painful moments and misguided games can become opportunities to rebuild trust when faced with honesty and reflection.